different styles that we've got to make, and those styles need to be planned based on various criteria. Number one, the needs of the customer. Number two, the ability to send those into production that creates the least problems with production flow, because some styles require certain machines that have to be pulled in or taken out of the line. So what we do is we come in here, and these guys here, here's Sergio, who's the director of planning. He's responsible for getting his people over here, Victor and Joaquin, to get the styles planned in a way that has the least impact on the flow of production. Once the orders are planned, then the production schedule is passed to Pablo. And what Pablo does is he takes software called CutPlan, and he takes that software and allows it to look at the production order, the various sizes, the quantities, and so forth. And that software organizes the cut in terms of how it should be spread, so that we get the most efficient usage out of the material, and that we don't have spoilage or waste, or at least that we minimize that. Once he gets that information, which we're going to look at a report in just a second, he then makes the markers. The markers are in the cut file, the markers are what are made from the patterns themselves. The pattern is made in general for every style, and then he has to customize that pattern to meet the specific order needs. So he does that through some software. Once Pablo has generated the data from CutPlan, we fill out a cutting report, which is you have a picture of, and it indicates to those people who are going to spread this fabric how they need to be spreading it based on the sizes that are going to be cut. And there's that information over here for the order itself, the style, and so forth, as well as the date that it's going to be cut, the individuals who are doing the spreading, the team that is doing the cutting on the automatic cutter, tells us the fabric code, item code, the yards that should be used based on the bill of materials. It'll tell us the yards that were actually used, and then what our wastage was. Okay? This other document is the actual production order that comes from the customer. It gives the sizes and the quantities to be cut. It also has on this the bill of materials, which we took a picture of earlier. And on the bill of materials in this particular order, it tells us that we should be using 423.16 yards of this particular fabric on this cut. Once it's done, we're going to find out actually how many we did use. And in that way, we control and standardize and check actual results against the standard. We're also able to measure the efficiency of the spreaders and of the cutters. What Pablo is doing now is he's run CutPlan. CutPlan then has, if you recall, it has determined how to spread it, what sizes to put where. And now what's going to happen is we're going to make a marker. Actually, CutPlan is going to make that marker. It's going to send the instructions to our marker making software, which will then actually make the marker for us. Okay? Now, in theory, we don't need markers. Markers were always used in the past when we cut by hand. Because the machine is actually cutting based on the cut file itself, that is a digital file, there's no actual paper markers that need to be printed. However, we print them for the purpose of, once the fabric is cut into pieces, that those pieces are identified by the markers, just to make sure that the people who are bundling those cut pieces together to be sewed know what they're bundling. Okay, now this is the finished marker. This is a small order that he's put together, and this is the file that will be sent over to the automatic cutter. It's also the same file that is sent over here to the printer to print it out on paper. Pablo has made the marker. Then it has two purposes, what he's done. One is he's going to send that digital file over to the cutting machine, which will then cut from that file. The other purpose is to actually print that marker out on paper, and that's what we've done here with this particular marker. And it tells us what piece this is. This is a code to tell those people putting that together what piece this is, what style that is, so that the people who are bundling all this together once it's been cut do in fact know what piece they're bundling. Okay, this is Marta. Say hi, Marta. Okay. Marta is, she's in charge of checking the patterns. Remember, we want to make sure that we do, everything is quality, that we have no waste. If we have an error in the pattern and we cut that pattern, we may have screwed up an entire order. So what Martha does is she has a little printer here that prints out these patterns. She checks them to ensure there are no mistakes in the pattern before it's cut, because after it's cut and it's wrong, it's too late.